Xicadian Cycle. Preface. Hello. I tried to do this introduction contemporaneously, but kept missing things out, so have reverted to a written script. My sincere apologies, but you've got AI Bruce instead. I've always daydreamed about being a creative writer, with a sneaky hope I might even turn out to be a good one. It genuinely was my plan to retire early from my career and then pursue my passion for writing without any pressure to be financially successful. Then I started losing my eyesight, and along with all the horrible things you might think comes with that, was the additional realization that I'd left my dream too late. In my darkest moments, I would go to bed with the sincere hope I would not wake up again in the morning. But eventually, I told myself a story, that I would try to write at least one novel, even if it was the only novel I would ever write. Much of this story was written with the sort of urgency that comes from someone who thinks they are going to run out of time. It very much became my reason for getting up in the morning, and I would take it to bed with me at night as audio recordings, which I would review, recording little voice notes to myself to correct clumsy sentences, plot holes, timeline inconsistencies, etc. When I had my operation, I could no longer see my computer well enough to operate it. At that time, the book was at least somewhat complete, inasmuch as I had written what was officially the final chapter the night before I was operated on. During convalescence, I remember voice recording the epilogue, with the intention of putting it down in text when or if I was ever able to do so. The truth of the matter is the book was far from complete and needed a tremendous amount of work before I would have been happy to release it for public consumption. As fate would have it, a few months after my operation, my eyesight stabilized and returned sufficiently for me to begin using my computer again. I started by warming myself up and writing a couple of short stories. Then I returned to my book project in anger. I would like to say I am an optimist about humanity, but I think it is more accurate to say I am a pessimistic skeptic who nevertheless refuses to give up all hope. My literary inspiration is the late great author Iain M. Banks. A work colleague gave me his book Consider Phlebas when I was still a young man, and I simply couldn't put it down. The final sentence froze me solid. It's fair to say I have read Iain's sci-fi novels during the course of my life, as if they were some kind of comfort blanket. His wicked sense of humour never failed to thrill me, and I've lost count of the times when I thought to myself, my God, I would love to be able to write like that. During the early stage of my efforts, I often imagined Iain sitting on my shoulder, telling me not to give up and to just keep going. My determination was never in question, but my talent and ability certainly was, and, to be fair, probably still is. That said, I am genuinely proud of Xicadian Cycle. I cannot say if it is objectively a good novel, but it took a lot of work before I finally started to believe in it myself. Honestly, I was very fussy. So if it still sucks after all that effort, no one could ever say I didn't give it my best. Ian will always be my muse, but I think I have found myself as a writer through the journey I took. I have no idea if uploading the book to YouTube will find me even a single reader, but putting it out there feels very important to me. I will mention that I have tried sending a submission to at least a couple of agents, and quickly realised writing a book is one thing, but marketing it is something else entirely. According to the advice of established authors, they often had to submit to 100 or more agents before they finally found representation, and I just don't know if I have it in me. At this point, I think I would rather put my energy into just writing. If it's meant to be, it will be. But writing makes me feel complete. So, please, universe, let me keep the sight I still have. I will be ever so grateful if you do. On a more practical note, I will never monetize this channel, so hopefully that means no ads. I will publish each chapter in sequence over the coming months, and will provide a link in the description to both the previous and next chapter when it becomes available. If you do choose to spend some time in the universe I have created, I might suggest you listen to it at night perhaps, while lying in bed. Maybe on a stormy night.